Hey guys, welcome back. The feud between Daily Wire's Ben Shapiro and Candace Owens is still alive. And honestly, it's gotten pretty wild, messy, and deeply personal. Right off the bat, Candace Owens claims that Shapiro and the Daily Wire have been harassing and stalking her for over 2 years. Yeah, not an exaggeration, 2 whole years. She's recently been talking about it on her podcast, just laying out her side of what she says has been going on. From her perspective, leaving the Daily Wire, whether it was her decision or not, didn't feel like a clean break at all. Instead, she feels like the conflict has followed her into her independent career. She's described what she's experienced as toxic, crazy, and has even compared it to dealing with a crazy ex-stalker because it feels like a relationship that never really ended peacefully. Now, I mention this because this isn't your typical "I left a company and it didn't go well" story. There are a lot of layers. Ideological differences, personal tension, contractual disputes, and a ton of social media drama that has rolled out very publicly. So what exactly has Owens claimed? Well, she has said a bunch of things publicly on her show and on X, like that Shapiro was jealous of her, that Shapiro was jealous of Charlie Kirk, that Shapiro wasn't friends with either her or Charlie Kirk really, and that he is in fact pretending that he was. She's also said that Shapiro undermined her publicly and has filed lawsuits against her behind the scenes over contract issues, and most explosively tried to ruin her financially simply because she mentioned his name. And in some of her more charged rhetoric, she's even said Shapiro wanted to take over her old audience or platform. Honestly, when you watch her recent episodes, it can be hard to separate what feels like drama from what feels like reality because some of her claims get pretty intense. One of the major flashpoints has been what she says the Daily Wire is doing with her old podcast. According to multiple recent reports and on Candace's own posts, the Daily Wire has revived old accounts and content tied to her former show on the Daily Wire, including trailers and social media accounts, apparently to promote a new program that critics say is designed to mock her or undercut her current brand. Candace sees this as proof that they are not letting her move on. She says this is exactly the kind of behavior that makes her feel like they can't leave her alone. She also claims insiders and tips from current Daily Wire employees showed her potential host and production details about this new show, and she shared clips and commentary claiming that the whole thing is basically a project meant to antagonize her. That part comes straight from her own podcast and social accounts, and it's definitely fueling her narrative that this isn't just business anymore, but personal.
Utah state flag is a hexagonal beehive.
All right, let's try this. Let's really try this, okay? Chronologically. Utah adopts the beehive symbol in 1948. Fast forward 175 years later, people start using bee language as codes.
And I communicate with them by dancing.
People that use the code, they're clearly communists because communists work together. They follow a hive mind. Yes, queen. Underground. Communists. Mormons live in Utah. I watched The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. I know what's going on here.
They've always been known as the beehive state. And to be clear, it's not because they make honey. It's not because they have a high presence of bees. In fact, in terms of making honey or bee-related products, they rank number 24. It's actually the beehive state. It relates to the Mormon Church, the Church of Latter-day Saints. Early Mormon pioneers founded that state, and they liked the idea of a beehive working toward a common good. Now, if that sounds vaguely familiar or communist to you, the idea of worker bees, yes, that's where it's from.
Did the Mormons know that the bees were commies in 1948? Did anybody watch that South Park episode? You know what? None of this matters. Let's get to her conclusion.
Now, has Ben Shapiro himself directly responded to her stalking or harassment claims? Not publicly, in a detailed, official way. There's no published statement from him addressing those specific phrases or accusations. What does exist are older remarks from Shapiro during past tensions, especially around Candace's comments about Israel and the Gaza conflict, where he publicly said her behavior was disgraceful, and even challenged her to quit if she felt taking money from the Daily Wire conflicted with her beliefs. So, Ben Shapiro himself hasn't directly addressed any of Candace's current claims against him. But in a petty move, the Daily Wire as an organization, in fact, has responded to Candace. Yesterday, right after Candace's podcast aired, according to social posts and online reports, the Daily Wire posted or released a compilation video on X on Candace's former podcast handle, showing dozens of times Candace mentioned Daily Wire or Shapiro since her departure, allegedly 56 mentions over the past 2 years.
But I genuinely feel like when you break up with someone and you have a crazy ex, that was how it felt like being fired from the Daily Wire. Daily Wire, Daily Wire, the 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 Daily Wire, Andrew Clavin, my crazy ex-boyfriend, Andrew Clavin. The Daily Wire, the Daily Wire, he does some stuff for the Daily Wire, 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 from the Daily Wire, from the Daily Wire, from the Daily Wire, from the Daily Wire, take the Daily Wire, the Daily Wire, Ben Shapiro, Dave Smith. The answer to this question might get you kicked off the Daily Wire. I had to laugh at that. That's really funny. The Daily Wire, I'm a Daily Wire, my psycho ex-boyfriend, Daily Wire, Daily Wire, Daily Wire, Reagan Conrad, Jeremy Boring, Daily Wire, Daily Wire, Daily Wire, Daily Wire, with the Daily Wire, and the Daily Wire, Daily Wire, Brett Cooper out at the Daily Wire, Daily Wire, the 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 Daily Wire, Daily Wire, sign up for the Daily Wire. I got fired from the Daily Wire. We're like, she's done, she's toast. The Daily Wire, the Daily Wire, the Daily Wire, Ben Shapiro, fuck you, and the midget horse that you rode in on.
And I was like, why are you so obsessed with me?
The move appears to be a kind of rebuttal, like saying, look, you are the one who keeps talking about us. That's the narrative being pushed both by fans and critics online right now. That the Daily Wire is either mocking Candace's persistence or trying to flip the stalker label back on her. And the public reaction, oh boy, it is absolutely everywhere. There are Candace Owens supporters who say this entire thing proves that the Daily Wire is toxic, that Shapiro is insecure, controlling and jealous. Some even point to the idea that Candace continues to thrive in audience engagement while Daily Wire and Shapiro's views are declining rapidly, with some people on social platforms accusing the Daily Wire of buying bot views to keep metrics up, though there has been no verified reporting confirming that part. Then you get the critics who point out that Candace herself has a long track record of controversy, including past conspiratorial or inflammatory claims. And this is just another headline-grabbing chapter in a broader conservative media feud. People online are very split, depending on whose content they usually follow or believe. So there's no consensus. It's basically turned into political fandom wars. Honestly, what I find most interesting about all of this is what it says about conservative media in general. I mean, these personal beefs and ideological rifts leak into the online and public sphere so quickly now that you have millions of people watching every twist and turn and taking sides. And it's more than just opinions. It affects platforms, reputations, monetization, and social media narratives. So here's what I want to know from you guys. Is Ben Shapiro actually targeting Candace Owens personally? Or is this just public narratives and media drama that got way out of hand? Do you think Candace's claims have merit? Or is this just another example of how online feuds escalate into absolute chaos? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I really want to hear what you all think, but be respectful. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. I post commentary like this almost every day. Alright, that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you